So how's
Um,
it going?
it's going well. We got a couple PRs out last week. Let me share my screen so that it's just easier to go over the project board. One
Yeah,
second.
it's also been pretty busy. We've had a lot of deliverables lately. They are taking a lot of time.
Uh, yeah, this room's turning out a lot busier than we thought. Can you give me the
Oh,
yeah share screen permissions?
try it now.
All right, let's see. Okay, I think that looks good. So we have a PR for the handling rubber pack structures. I think there was one comment on adding another a comment, so I have done that. There is, oh, this should be in review. So we have a PR on getting rid of our old data structures and using the closure min captures everywhere. And Roxanne has a PR going for patterns.
Yes.
Everything is sort of to-do in progress, but the general highlights are, I guess, we have three things main left other than the capture macro itself, and we have diagnostics.
I forgot
We
about the
have,
capture macro write-up.
sorry?
Last time we talked about me doing a capture macro write-up and I forgot all about
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yes.
I put that on my list
Mhm.
of stuff. Keep going.
Then we have the closures not being cloned or auto rates not being satisfied issues. And then insignificant destructors.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll probably pair programming with Dhruv sometime this weekend to get some head start on this.
Yeah,
don't
that seems
expect.
like a relatively easy one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just like we discussed about it earlier, so it shouldn't be too bad. I think implementing insignificant destructors won't be that bad. Figuring out the list of which ones to mark as insignificant might be a little bit more work to some degree. So
Yeah. Do we
we'll
have a
have to
work
see.
item for that?
Yeah, it's just it's
I mean,
in
we
the
might want
list
to
of.
make an issue for like figure out
Okay.
apply
Oh,
insignificant.
I see that one. I'll do that. 1 second. I'll go
I'm not sure where that fits in our milestones, but I think it fits somewhere.
I think that should be like by polish complete. We should have a sort of a log list of.
Yeah, because we probably want to run that by lib and lang or something.
Yeah, figure it out. Mark.
Oh my God, I have so many notifications. Stop.
I have our Instagram. Yeah, so I'll lay miles. I'll put polish complete and let's see how far we get, and I'll put that in. Yeah, and I think that's most work that's left for is like three main sort of things that are left for feature complete. I think we should go and discuss patterns because there's an edge case that's sort of showed up around diagnostics, and I don't have a really nice solution for it. So let's see if I can show the problem.
Quick question on this. My last review, I was pretty happy, wasn't I? Trying to remember. Did I have things? I think I was mostly like comments.
Yeah, so you wanted Roxanne to leave, I think, this comment around and put an assertion saying around the multivariate stuff to see if we only get this for index 0. I can go through my comment, and I don't think like this
I
is
just
quite
thought of
correct.
another case. I wonder if what would happen if you have never types. We'll worry about it later, but
Are they
never types can make some variants not possible. It's not something we have to solve right now, especially because never types aren't stable. But if we, I'm just thinking about how plausibly you could have like result with never as the OK type, in which case it's sort of a univariant enum because it can only have an error. Are you familiar with never?
I am vaguely, I'll say, I guess.
Okay, it's basically
I
a type.
am not.
So it's a type to represent a value that can't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's written as an exclamation mark,
Mm-hmm.
and you use it like, so in the case of my example of result, normally you have two types, like the OK type and the error type. But if you made one of those never, you're basically saying that it can't, that variant can't happen because, so like if you imagine you created error of E, what OK type should you have? Well, you could sort of have any OK type because it's not the OK variant. So it doesn't matter what type you put there. So one type you might put is never, and that then means it could never ever be the OK type. It can only be the error variant. So plausibly we could say, oh, if you're matching and it does require a discriminant read but not like, we could say that it's a univariant enum because although the enum has many variants, we know that some of those variants are impossible. I'm not gonna worry about this right now.
So I guess my way of thinking around this problem kind of goes around all of this. Or at least I feel like it goes out of this, at least in the case of this particular problem that we were trying to discuss. So your comment was that the only time we'll see a downcast rejection is if there's a single variant enum, and therefore we should be able to test for index 0. So I don't think that is true. So that is true if we were looking at the here place and trying to build a mirror place out of it, because that is when we won't have any, that is when we would capture our enums completely. But when we are going from mirror to here, the mirror place can actually contain that downcast, and what we ideally want to do is truncate for it. So like if we have something like this, which is like some foo, it could have, for now we know it's just some up bar X, and on that we're building downcast 0 to access our sum, and then field 0, and then field 1 to actually end up accessing this Y. So the ideal thing to do sort of in this scenario is to check if this is a multivariant enum by looking at the type before we see the downcast rejection. But again, in this particular scenario, it's a little hard to do because the logic becomes a little cyclic in the sense that to figure out the type of this place before downcast rejection, we need to figure out which up part does this resolve to, which may or may not easily work out, and it could be a little hard to follow. Yeah.
It's okay. I don't think the current code is bad.
Yeah. Okay.
I just didn't quite understand what it was doing, maybe. So it's going also from mirror to here, but it doesn't truncate, right? It
does not.
Okay. Why would you want it to? You said something about truncating just now, or did I mishear you?
So I did say about truncating. So the reason we might want to truncate is just to think like the easiest answer would be to exit early, because since we are only doing this conversion for captures, we know if we don't have a particular projection, why build a longer list? Why build a longer set of projections? Like if the here place of this would not have this, it's really the only, I guess, good reason to truncate early. Similarly for index as well.
Okay. Can I see the code again? And when does this code used?
So when we have a place builder that is built off of an upper, and we're trying to convert it to some local place builder. Okay, I think, yeah, this comment needs to be removed 93 to 94 now.
So one thing I'm wondering is, if you have your example had a downcast, Okay, never mind. Good. I was missing line 115. I was wondering when the variant got reset back to none.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets reset.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'll leave a comment. I think these two need to be removed now.
What needs to be removed? Oh, that's
There's the comment from before. One
okay.
second.
Yeah, sorry, forgot about that.
Oh, yes, I'll just do that. Okay, and second, yeah, so the reason this sort of works out is because the way we defined our her place is field index, variant index, so we can easily represent what's actually happening here. And also checking for 0 is not an if and only if check. So because multivariant enums can also have a 0 variant. So that is also, I guess, might not be the best way to think about it. And yeah, let's just go to the diagnostics issue. So we basically saw this. So we have this simple. Okay, I'll probably open the test file. 1 second. So we basically have a contradicting read here because tuple gets moved in C1 and also in C2. And that ends up basically causing a borrow checker or error or conflict. So what we saw was we were missing certain parts of the error message which described what was the problem was. I guess the short answer why we are missing them right now is earlier the borrow checker conflict was between a closure capture and another place that was previously moved. Now the borrow checker conflict is between something that's already been moved and a fake read. I do have the mirror for this code, and so the first problem was like when
that's
we
because
added
the fake read comes first.
Fake read comes before we build the closure, yes, but it's after after building the first closure, which already moved that place. We can look at the mirror. I have the mirror for this.
Yeah, I can understand it. It's annoying.
So, oh God, where did it go? Oh, it might have been collapsed because that code changed. 1 second.
And so one thing we could do is avoid emitting fake reads for things that are also captured, right?
Yes, we can do that.
There's really no reason to it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I feel like that in this particular scenario, that will still not work because tuple. Okay, so okay, this is not my comment.
Well,
I had
one reason I could see is that we're now moving tuple.0 and tuple.1 or something and fake reading tuple.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So yeah, that will still cause a partially moved place. Consume error issue. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down.
The other option would be
this is the
yeah. So okay, I see a few possibilities. You're right that removing the fake reads won't help.
Yeah. I have two thoughts.
Although it doesn't appear to be. I think it will help. The mirror as written, it would help. Because they're not moving. The mirror as written, it's moving _1 in its entirety. It's not moving _1.0 and _1.1 or something.
Yes, that is with the feature disabled.
That's probably because of. Oh, is that why?
Yeah, because like it will have to move. Like today, it needs to capture tuple completely.
I see.
Yeah, so
Okay. The other, so there's two options. The other, one of them is we can move the fake reads instead of having them be separate instructions.
Mhm.
They could plausibly be part of the closure R value or something, but that's kind of not sure I like that change, but it's possible to imagine. Do you understand what I mean?
a little
Uh,
bit, yeah.
The main advantage of that would be that you would be pointing right at the closure instruction, and the error would occur in the closure instruction.
Yeah, so I had a similar thought, but I guess in a different way. It was basically we have fake read for closures, and that just encodes which closure is causing a fake read here.
Yeah, that
But
was
that
another
kind
thing I considered, but
I feel like that would be special placing closure maybe a little bit too much or
yeah,
something.
it feels a little. It's not that it. Yeah, it just feels like we aren't getting. If we're going to special case, we're not getting as much as I. Like, we still have to like find that closure. We still have to put some
Yeah.
fairly complex code in the borrow checker to like find the closure that's we're referring to and
Fair
so
point.
forth. And
And
I guess the
the
third
other,
option would be to have the borrow checker somehow know. I mean, probably all that. This is probably similar to what you just said. Just having like a flag on fake read that's like
this is
a
a
fake read before a closure, and then the borrow checker knows to skip ahead to find the closure instruction for the diagnostic purposes. But that just seems like a pain in the neck. Is the fake reads are always, no, they're not always even going to come. Oh, they might always be in the same basic block as the closure.
they would be, I think, because you do block and on the same thing to return. I don't know how basic blocks gets split up in this, but
The only
I
reason
don't think
to split a basic block would be if we were introducing conditionals or if
conditionals.
you were like compiling some custom expression, but here you won't be doing that. It'll always be
Exactly.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The things you're capturing are always places. So it might not be that hard to have the borrow checker have some logic that was like, oh, this is a closure fake read. Let me look forward in the instruction list for the next assignment, because that's the thing I'm looking for, and we'll
Yeah.
report it. But it's kind of
Yeah. I had another weird hack, which is, so basically the way we tell the where to point for this is we give it a span.
Mhm.
Instead of a span, if we give it a multi-span, that just also points to the closure and just is annotated with used here. It's a hack, but I don't know.
I feel like it's a lot of work for like a PR that's already very big.
It could certainly land in a follow-up PR.
Yeah.
I don't feel it's not a major diagnostic regression.
Yes. Yeah.
But your idea is not that bad. Like maybe we don't need to find the closure instruction. Now that I think about it, fake read only needs to carry enough information to print that diagnostic.
All it needs is the closure def ID so that it can just point to the closure or closure her ID so I can get the span. And that's about it.
Like where do we insert fake reads? Only one place?
And for this one and just R value, for closures only in one place. Like in general, there's like spread across the whole
Like
mirror builder, but
basically fake read just needs like some extra data, like an optional def ID.
yes.
That's not bad. We should just do that. That's the right fix.
Yeah.
So it's a fake read. I see. Yeah, somehow I thought it was more complicated than that. I didn't understand. I think that's the right way to go. I don't have a strong opinion about whether it's in this PR or in a follow-up PR. Especially if
Yeah, I think
I would like it to land before this thing hits beta or something, but like I don't know when that's happening, but like a temporary diagnostic regression seems okay.
Like I can work on
Uh,
it next. It's just a question of like, does it make sense to like just push this now?
Right.
I feel,
Merge it.
yeah, I feel like there's some work that needs to be done on this again because they changed how mirror
Wait, do
and
we unconditionally emit the fake reads?
we unconditionally emit the fake reads right now, I think, yes.
Because the other option would be to make that only emit the fake reads if the feature gate is enabled,
Yeah, we can do that for now.
and then it won't affect the diagnostics, right? For people who won't use the feature.
It would not.
That's not hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, that's should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
Let me do
probably will
that.
have.
That's just like an
Yeah.
if.
Yeah, that's just an if log that control.
Then we can file an issue to do the follow-up with the fake read. I don't know if I would make it fake read let closure versus just make all fake reads take an optional def ID or something, but whatever.
I feel like it might just be easier to add two variants which are just for closures, but
I'm not.
I am
I don't have a strong. I don't have a strong opinion. I'm a little surprised you think it'd be easier though, because it seems like you want it to behave exactly like a fake read all the time. So having something that you can put an underscore in all the matches would be the easiest.
fair point. Fair point.
Or almost all the time except for diagnostics, I guess.
Yeah. So I think this is yeah. I think they changed a lot of how they made Deher and Mir arena allocator instead of boxes. So this is might be. I don't know how much this gets impacted.
Wait, what?
Uh,
Did we land that
they-
PR?
yes.
Oh, wow.
You haven't looked through the changes.
I knew it was happening, but I didn't think it was going to land. Okay, it's cool. It's exciting. I'll have to ping Les Soul Artist Show and say, nice job. Hopefully that won't be too impactful.
Okay.
I hope not.
All right.
Yeah, I probably won't have time to like look more into it until this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like it's now R equals me after rebase, assuming you make that change
Yes.
to fix the diagnostic, I think.
I'll leave a comment just so that it doesn't get lost.
I'll do an @Boris delegate too, so that you can
Wow.
you can tell Boris to land it whenever you're ready, and not have to wait for me to miss your ping for a few days or something.
Okay.
This one. Feature get this to. All right, I think that's all that was left, I think, on this that we discussed this meeting.
The only other thing is for me to remove line 93, 94, like the two comments that don't apply anymore. But
Yeah. Right.
I left those as well as notes, and yeah, I think we should be good. Yeah, I think this was the longest.
It's pretty impressive.
This took longer than even the caption analysis and all that. Yeah.
We did a perf run, right? And it was like, okay.
The perf run it was fine. I can pull that up 1 second.
Some small regression or something.
I think the only thing that was impacted was the stress case. Everything else had almost greens.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, even the stress case isn't too bad. All right. That's good.
Yeah, makes sense. All right.
That's actually, that's cool. I thought the place builder might be expensive, but I'm happy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, this is all I have, unless you guys have anything else.
I don't, but if we end now, I'll go do some reviews. It seems like I owe you one or two.
Yeah, there are two peers that need reviews. All right.
I guess the only other thing, I don't know if you want to just discuss it, but like, I feel like April 1st to get everything done might be like not possible anymore, just based on like the delay we've had on all the other ones, on all the
Yeah,
other PRs.
so
That's true. It's not actually a hard deadline.
yeah,
I think the
yeah, some
harder
of our
deadline was like
courses.
May 1st or something.
Mhm.
We
I
still think
think
we're on track
that
for that.
is.
Maybe we should
At
look at
some
the
point,
pending stuff.
I looked at it before this. It really will come down to finding time for a couple small issues. But yeah, let's go through it. Actually, let's go through the project board. I think it looks much more comforting there. So these all ideally get merged within the next week or so, assuming
Mhm.
we get time for rebase and the pattern one doesn't turn out to be a complete like difficult process. Yeah, this one I don't think will stay here long. This is same as these two are going together, so that's good. This one
Right.
hopefully is not that bad. What's left for feature complete on this side? If we go bottom up is like, I guess, somewhat easier, which is we need to write a blog post, which is, I guess, somewhat non. I think we discussed we probably want the work group should do it. So I can discuss and we can start drafting something.
Yeah.
Then we have, this is again going to be a simple change, is just changing our if statement. So this is not that much of a work. So actually, I think maybe we should discuss this next meeting. I pinged Tcompiler a while back to figure out, and we had talked about this briefly in the past, is what this should look like captured. So right now it's for, I think this is const eval. The way they describe closures is just captured variable. And it's just the name of the symbol that's captured, but I didn't see it being used in too much detail, and I did not know what is the best way to express the way it's done today using so that it's still copy and everything. And I think I might have even reached out to mere optimization, or I definitely ping the const eval compiler group at some point as well.
Forgot about
So
this. Yeah, so you need to store possibly not just a symbol. That's the problem, right?
yes.
Yeah, okay, you can ping them. I mean, one easy thing to do is gonna be relatively easy, which you should ask them how they feel about it, but parameterizing path lm by TCX. Does this code have like a TCX lifetime anywhere? I don't see any lifetimes.
It's in some places, it's not everywhere.
Yeah,
From
so
what I
it's gonna be
understand.
a little bit of a pain to propagate it around, but like,
Yeah, because the return doesn't.
Right, then you could, the reason to do it would be that you could put
Place TCX or something straight up in there.
yeah,
But
or yeah, you could do some intern data, right?
yeah, we would have to intern data to keep it copy.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So
it's important that it be copy. That's another question.
Okay, fair point.
Could ask.
Yeah, I remember, I think they just moved it to Tcompiler at one point and it just got unanswered. I'll ping it again, ping again and see if there's something. So for now, there's just
This
a
doesn't
fix
seem too
me
bad.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a fix me, which is saying make it more descriptive. So that
sure macro has to happen.
yes, I think that's the more like the unknown sort of. There is traits with, I think Jenny and Logan will end up working instead of, I guess, me and Roxanne. I'll work on insignificant destructors with Dhruv and some, no, go back. Sorry. And yeah, diagnostics is left. I'll ask Chris if he can get it done somewhat sooner. Why do I keep clicking links?
Yeah, and so of all those, the auto traits with closures feels, I think it's actually going to be fine. I think if I remember the plan we came up with seemed pretty reasonable and not hard, but it still feels like the mildly scary to me in the sense that there could be surprises we're not anticipating.
Yes, I think what we decided was, okay, actually one question around this. Do we want a separate lint for this, I'm assuming? Or do we, and then we just create a lint group, which is like RC2229 lint group, which just runs all, because even though the logically it's similar, just finding root like places that don't specify some attribute of their, places that don't satisfy the attribute of some attribute of their root variable. I feel like the actual lint name seems different than disjoint
Yeah.
capture VR and
That
stuff.
seems fine. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't really I hadn't thought about it, but you're right that it's somewhat different.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of notes in here, but I remember we have them in some HackMD or paper or something.
We have, it's in the Lang team meeting. I'll link that after this.
Yep.
Give me 1 second. I'll close the door.
Yeah, and the capture, and obviously the capture macro is like the biggest bit of design sort of, so that needs to get started. We have to kick that discussion off. Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like we have like basically 3 chunks of issues. Hopefully they don't show up, like to be like have much of their own like edge cases on top of themselves being edge cases. So
yeah, we should probably reset the milestone to May 1st, but I think we'll definitely make it if we keep as long as you all still have time. Don't tell me sooner rather than later.
No, for sure. At some point, I also want to discuss something from like our administrative purposes, because in the sense that we'll be doing a presentation for this somewhere around mid-April ourselves. So one thing that came up with discussions with our like the prof who runs this course is that maybe you should like be the person who goes through the presentation as well. Maybe I think you have to grade it as well. It's supposed to be like a 40-minute time commitment from what I remember. I can get more details.
Let me know if you need something like that. I can do that.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's
all right. Great. Well, thanks, Roxanne. Thanks, Man. Talk to you next week, I guess. I don't know if we have a meeting next week. I'll go check, but
yeah,
I'm not sure what happened to it this week.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
I should hop off. No, enough. So. All right.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. And I struggle to find how to end this meeting again. All right. Back.